Hello guys, and welcome back to another Genshin video. So the 2.5 weapons were released from MiHoYo actually yesterday, so I'm here to go over both of the weapons that are coming in 2.5, going over all the passives and who you're going to be using these weapons on. These two Catalyst weapons are very important to Catalyst users because they don't really have the best lineup, especially for the 5 stars, so this 5-star Catalyst really matters to me a lot. So taking a look at that 5-star Catalyst that is coming in the next update, the Kagura Verity, has a crit damage substat of 66.2% at level 90 with a base attack of 608, and his passive is actually getting the Kagura dance effect after using the elemental skill, which makes the elemental skill damage increase by 12% for 16 seconds, and there's a max of 3 stacks. And once you have 3 stacks, all the elemental damage bonus is increased by 12%. Now this sounds pretty nice. You get elemental skill damages, and then once you get 3 stacks you get elemental bonus, and it even has a crit damage substat which is pretty high, but I don't really know if it's going to be good for most Catalyst users besides Yamiko. Like, I know the weapons that they come out with are usually made for them, but this seems so niche that it's not going to be usable that much on any other Catalyst user. Which kind of sucks because I was really hoping for a Catalyst that was really going to help out all Catalyst damage users and help them fit more into the meta. Of course, I could be wrong because the weapon isn't actually out and people haven't done their testing, but it seems like you have to have someone that resets the elemental skill often in order to use this weapon effectively. For example, if you have someone like Ningguang, even at Constellation 2, if a J-screen is shattered, it will actually reset, which could happen every 6 seconds. So you probably could get it up effectively, but over that long period of time, I don't know if it's going to be that worth it, all for just elemental skill damage and 12% damage bonus. Because Ningguang's elemental skill damage is definitely pretty nice, but it's not the big part of the damage, and doing all that long resetting just for 12% elemental damage bonus, it's not really that worth it. I do see it being pretty good for main DPS Lisa's because her press cooldown is only 1 second, and it'll actually increase the elemental skill damage, and as you can see, her elemental skill has huge scaling once you get it all the way up. So honestly, I think you might see a good amount of videos of people using this weapon on Lisa and then hitting huge elemental skill numbers. I don't see it being that good on Mona because her cooldown for elemental skill is 12 seconds and there's really no way to make this go down. At cost station 1 Sucrose, you can give an elemental skill another charge. So cooldown is 15 seconds though, but you could get it a little bit down if you do utilize the cost station 4. But honestly, it's probably still not going to be the best weapon for Sucrose because the Sacrificial Fragments is just so good for her. It gives her elemental mastery and also resets her skill as well. It's definitely not going to be used for Barbara. Yanfei's elemental skill cooldown is only 9 seconds, so I think it could be utilized pretty well. Cause then you could probably effectively get all 3 of the stacks just over a longer period of time. Which once again, do you really want to use your elemental skill 3 times over that longer period to only get a 12% elemental damage bonus? And also, elemental skills aren't really a huge part of Yanfei's damage either. So I'm pretty sure you get what I'm trying to say. I think this weapon could be used on some characters like Lisa, but it just kinda sucks because this weapon seems so niche that's not gonna work on many other Catalyst users. Which I might be wrong once again, this is all just speculation, the weapon isn't out yet, but it does kinda make me sad because I was kinda wishing to push my Ningguang to the next level for 5-star weapon, and I was hoping this 5-star weapon would be it, but it doesn't seem like it will. But we'll just have to wait and see until the weapon comes out for us in-game. But the weapon does look really cool and does seem to be fitting Yamiko perfectly, so if you're waiting for Yamiko, be careful if you want to roll for the weapon, because once again, weapon banners are kinda hard to get the weapon you want. And also make sure to roll for the character before you roll for the weapon. That may seem pretty obvious, but some people make the wrong decision. And if we look back at the image, the essential materials are the claws from the Wolfhounds, the spectre cores from the Floaty Boys, and we have that little mask for the weapon essential material. Now that's all for the 5 stars, so let's move on to the 4-star weapon, which is actually going to be given to us for free in an event so we can get it at Refinement 5. So this is called the Oathworns Eye, and it has attack percentage substat of 27.6% and a base attack of 565. And its passive is, increases energy recharge by 24% for 10 seconds after using an elemental skill. Now this could be pretty interesting on some Catalyst users, but I don't think it's going to be anyone's best in slot, but it's not going to be terrible for anyone either. It's going to kind of be like a good free-to-play option until you get a better weapon that will replace it. Since this weapon had the Kokomi vibe, a lot of people, including myself, thought it'd be a good option for her, but it actually turns out to definitely not be the case. Prototype Amber is still going to be great for her, Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayer is going to be way better, and also the Everlasting Moonglow. Now, one character I think this will actually be pretty good on if you're free to play is Mona. Because if you take a look at her talents and go all the way down to her passives, she gets more Hydro damage bonus based off of her energy recharge rate. So if you increase the energy recharge after using the elemental skill and then pop an elemental burst, you'll get a good amount of damage increase in your burst just from using this weapon. Also, Mona's burst is really useful and has an energy cost of 60, so increasing her energy recharge is definitely good for her because you can use this more often reliably, which in turn will help your team do more damage. So I believe she's probably going to be one of the better users of this catalyst. I think a support Lisa would also use this catalyst very well because after using the elemental skill it will increase the energy recharge. So you'll bring down a lot of damage from an elemental skill and then wait for the particles to come to her and then she'll get a lot of energy. Her burst does cost 80 energy as well, so increasing her energy recharge is definitely helpful to reduce the defense of your enemies. This becomes even more helpful if you have C1 Lisa like I do myself, because you'll get 2 more energy for every opponent hit with your elemental skill, up to 10 energy. So if you use this weapon with Lisa, expect a huge drop in downtime with your burst, which is actually going to be really helpful. I don't really have much to say about Blubber, but she'll probably use this just fine. Pop her elemental skill, get some healing done, and increasing energy recharge for a large 80 cost burst. This should also be pretty good on Sucos if you don't have Sacrificial Fragments or another good catalyst weapon, because her burst also does cost 80, so if you do get more energy recharge after using the elemental skill, which she uses very often, then it's definitely helpful. Yanfei also has an 80 energy cost, so if you do want to use this on Yanfei too, you can, because it does have attack percentage, which is pretty nice for damage dealers. And finally, although I do see it being used on Ningguang, I don't really think it's going to be all that good for her because her burst only costs 40, and you're already going to be running her with another Geo user because the Geo resonance is just so strong that you pretty much have to. So I'd probably advise using different weapons on your Ningguang, even this 3-star weapon, the Twin Nephilite, which gives you a crit rate substat and increases attack after defeating an opponent. So I don't think you should really be using this weapon on your Ningguangs. So yeah, this weapon does seem universally good on most Catalyst users, but it's definitely not the best slot for any of them. So if you're probably in the later game like myself, this weapon probably won't affect your account too much, but if you're at the beginning of the game, it can be really helpful. So once again, we do get this weapon for free at Refinement 5, so make sure to get the weapon anyway, even if you are in game, because more Catalyst users will come out in the future, and maybe this weapon will be really good for one of them. In the weapon essential materials, 2 of them are the same as the 5-star Catalyst, but instead of the mask, it's actually the branch, so make sure to farm out these branches if you do plan on leveling up this weapon. So yeah, those are the 2 weapons coming in 2.5, I hope you guys enjoyed. Although I'm a little disappointed that the 5-star Catalyst is super niche, we'll just have to wait and see until it drops in game and let people do their damage testing. So there you go, those are both of the weapons, and that's basically all I have to talk about to you today. They should be releasing the 4-star characters for the Yay Miko banner pretty soon and the weapon banner, so I'll make sure to cover that as soon as that comes out if I can. So yeah, that's basically all for me. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.